Have you ever just stopped and looked around? I mean, really looked. At your phone, the lights in your room, the medicine in your cabinet. Our entire world, everything we do, is built on a foundation of these incredible and honestly often invisible ideas. So today, let's pull back the curtain and make them visible.
It's not just concrete and steel. It's really a series of brilliant thoughts, these revolutionary concepts, that just completely reshape what was even possible for us as people. So in this explainer, we're going to dive into 3 huge areas where just a handful of ideas changed, well, everything.
All right, first up, let's talk about the most fundamental challenge there is, survival. For pretty much all of human history, our biggest enemies were silent, they were invisible, and they were absolutely deadly.
I want you to just imagine a world where a simple cut on your finger could actually be a death sentence. For centuries, people had no idea what caused disease. They blamed it on bad air or maybe some kind of divine punishment. It was just this mysterious, unstoppable force of nature that could wipe out entire populations.
So how in the world did we fight back? Well, what's so cool here is the sequence. It wasn't one single magic bullet. First, we got the idea of vaccination, this clever way of teaching our own bodies how to recognize and fight an enemy. But the real paradigm shift, the game changer, came with the microscope. For the first time, we could actually see the enemy. And suddenly, it wasn't bad air anymore. It was a hidden world of germs. That idea, germ theory, changed everything. It paved the way for antibiotics, our actual weapons to go in and destroy those invaders. It's just a perfect example of how one idea creates the path for the next one, and in the end, it saved billions of lives. And then came the ultimate breakthrough, the idea that explained why all those previous steps even worked, the discovery of DNA's double helix. Wow. This wasn't just about fighting disease anymore. This was about reading the fundamental instruction manual for life itself. It was the key that unlocked the biological code of what makes you, you, and me, me.
Okay, so let's move on to our next big idea. And you'll see how this builds. We went from conquering our inner world to conquering the outer one. We completely, and I mean completely, changed our relationship with distance.
Seriously, think about this for a second. For thousands of years, the speed of information was tied to how fast you could physically travel. A message from London to New York, you're talking weeks. A battle could be fought and won before the government back home even knew the war had started. The world was just this vast, disconnected place, running on local time and old news.
And then, bam, you can just see the incredible acceleration. The telegraph was the first massive leap, collapsing space and time by turning messages into electrical pulses. Then the telephone let us send our actual voices across those wires. But the World Wide Web, that was on another level entirely. It didn't just connect 2 people, it completely decentralized information, giving pretty much everyone access to a global library and their very own printing press. Distance just became almost meaningless.
So we can live longer and we can communicate instantly. But what powers it all? That brings us to our third category, the ideas that gave us the raw energy to literally build our modern civilization.
Before the Industrial Revolution, if you wanted to build something or make something, you were completely limited by physical strength, either your own or an animal's. Society was built around this one simple limit. Progress could only move as fast as muscles would allow. That was the ultimate bottleneck. And then came these game changers, which just shattered that bottleneck. Early industrial machines like the spinning jenny totally automated manufacturing, kicking off the whole first wave. And today, you've got wind turbines and solar cells that are redefining how we generate clean energy. But the thing that connects them all, the machine that turns all that energy into useful work, is the electric motor, sitting right there in the middle of it all.
And this is the crucial point, right? This one idea is so fundamental, it's almost invisible. The electric motor is the unsung hero of the modern age. It's the silent workhorse in your fridge, your car, the factories making your clothes, the systems delivering your water. It's this beautifully simple, powerful idea of turning electricity into movement, and it is, quite literally, everywhere.
So, we've looked at health, communication, and energy. 3 massive pillars of our world, all built on just a handful of revolutionary ideas. So what does that tell us about what's coming next? If there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. No idea just appears out of nowhere. The World Wide Web is impossible without the telephone and the telegraph coming first. Modern medicine is impossible without the microscope and the germ theory it inspired. Progress is cumulative. Each discovery creates a new platform, a new launching pad for the next one.
And that right there is the story of human progress. It's like a relay race of innovation, where the baton of knowledge gets passed from one generation to the next.
We are all standing on the shoulders of every single idea that came before us.
Which of course leaves us with one final, fascinating question. All of these incredible ideas, they all seemed impossible, right up until they weren't. They were born in the minds of people who just dared to ask, what if? So as we look to the challenges of our own time, the real question isn't just what the next big idea will be, but who's going to have it?